Hey, I'm Allison with Mother Earth News, and today I'm going to go over how to make some reusable air fresheners. And these are really easy to make. They're just made with salt dough, and then you put essential oil on the back of them to give them the smell. And they can be used just like a regular air freshener in your car, or in your closet, or wherever. But once they start to lose their smell, you just add more essential oil and you can keep on using them for a really long time. They last quite a while. So, okay, let's get into it. I'll show you guys how to make them. So, to make these, you're gonna need some salt dough, which I already have my batch made up, but all it is 1 3/4, 1 1/2 cups flour. I usually need closer to the 1 3/4 amount. 3/4 cup salt and 3/4 cup water. And then you'll mix that all together until it forms a nice dough like this. And this dough is pretty sticky, but you want to get it to where it's firm enough that you can definitely mold it, almost like a Play-Doh-y consistency. So once you've got your dough made, you're going to need to roll it out. And I always flour my surface because it will stick and you'll have a hard time getting the dough off your work surface. And flour your dough a little bit. And then you're going to want to roll this out until it's pretty thin. You definitely don't want it too thick, or else your ornaments or air fresheners will be really heavy. And you don't want it super, super thin, or else the dough can crack, especially if you bake these, which I'll go over in just a minute. So, as you can see, these are about yay thick, which is about the right consistency. And they're very hard. They don't really puff up a whole lot or anything. So you want to roll your dough out to about what thickness you want your air fresheners to be. And if you want to color your dough, you can add food coloring to it when you add your water. You can also add some spices. Cinnamon, it works really well. It'll also add a little bit of scent to it. I chose to make mine without any coloring and then paint over them because I had some paint left over from a different craft project, so that's an option too. If you're going to bake your dough, just be careful about what you put in it. I'm actually going to let this batch air dry, and I've never tried that, but I've read that it can be done, so we'll see. And because of that, I'm going to try adding some dried flowers, not flour. So these are just some dried, crushed flower petals. So before I get my dough completely rolled out to the right thickness, I'm going to add this in. I just thought this might add a nice texture and color. I'm actually making a batch of these to give as a gift. These do make really nice gifts. You just package up a few of them with a bottle of essential oils. So I'm trying to make sure these look nice for that purpose. Yeah, that looks good. Just get your flour, crushed flowers rolled in there pretty well. All right, so I think that's about the right thickness that we want. And then I just use a glass to cut out circles. You can use cookie cutters and make whatever shapes you want, or you can freehand your cutouts, whatever works for you. So I just have found that a drinking glass is about the right size for an air freshener. And then to make the hole for your twine or ribbon or whatever you use, I found that a straw works really well. So just do that. Make sure you blow out the dough so it doesn't get stuck up in your straw, because once it hardens, it will be in there for good. And then once you get those cut out, you'll probably have leftover dough and you can roll it back up and keep cutting. This dough will make quite a few of these air fresheners, so if they do start to kind of fall apart after a little while, you'll have plenty of backup. And the salt in the dough will help preserve them, so they should last for a really long time. So once you get them cut out, and I'm a little worried I didn't use quite enough flour because it's a little sticky. Like I said, this is a really sticky dough, so you want to make sure you're really generous with your flour. Then I'm just going to lay it. I just have a baking sheet. Get those all filled up. And I did make a moon one, which if you're interested in that, all you do is just take the circle and then take your glass and just cut off about half of it to make that moon shape. But otherwise, those are the only shapes I do. So once you've got them all cut out, if you're going to let them air dry, just keep them in a kind of cool, well-ventilated space and let them sit. I read about a week, so we'll see how it goes. If you're going to bake them, which you can, I bake mine in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. And you can tell these ones got just a little bit of brown on the back, which is okay. But you just want to bake them until they're nice and hard. And you can always paint over any discoloration. The one thing is you want to make sure you leave your backside open, or at least if you're going to paint it or cover it, make sure it's something that the essential oil can soak into. So don't cover it with any sort of clear coating or anything. After they're done baking, let them cool completely, and then you can paint them or otherwise decorate them in whatever way you want. And then just run some string, or I just used some twine that I already had on hand, and then put a few drops of essential oil on the back, and they're good to go. And like I said, I use these in the car, in a closet, anywhere you would normally use an air freshener. And I also like to package them up for a nice little gift. They make a really quick and easy handmade gift. So hope you guys give it a try and that you have as much fun with it as I did, because it is a fun project. And it's also really easy to do with kids. So give it a try and have fun. Bye.